Meghan herself came up with the idea to accuse the British royal family of racism, or was prompted by someone. The case does not change. It was easy to blow up the public on this very topic because the memories of Princess Margaret's remarks, who openly spoke of her contempt for Indians and called the Irish pigs, are still alive. Meghan's stroke was calibrated entering the royal family. She had no intention of staying in it at all. She had a clear plan: get in, have a racial scandal, and if she couldn't get in, immediately have a racial scandal and get out, depending on whether she could get in. But evil does not rule the world indiscriminately, as Tolkien said. That was something she hadn't considered. A brilliant plan ruined such a detail as the identity of the victim herself. The words of a high-ranking person are not an empty word. They can cause serious damage to a country's relations. Princess Margaret's remarks are even more politically incorrect than Prince Philip's jokes. The princess called Indians hateful brown pygmies and never apologized for her words. Shortly after the death of cousin Louis Mountbatten at the hands of IRA militants, the princess made a state visit to America. In Chicago, she attended a reception for the city's mayor and called the Irish pigs. So how could she have known she was speaking to an Irishman by blood? Princess Margaret, Queen Elizabeth. From her first glance at journalist and Wanders, a well-known and respected journalist by her colleagues, Margaret sensed that she was Jewish and asked her directly. Having received an affirmative answer, the princess immediately broke off communication and showed no further interest in her. Fate brought her together with Dr. Chetty Jugan, the president of Guyana. This meeting caused the royal persona of violent disgust. The man embodied everything that the princess hated. He was black and the husband of an American Jewess. Where did the princess get this hatred of Jews? It is known that Princess Margaret only endured the first few frames of the movie Schindler's List. After fleeing the movie, she refused to hear about Jews and the Holocaust because of what she had heard about it during the war. By the outbreak of war in 1939, Margaret was 9 years old. Together with her parents and older sister Elizabeth, she had to become a role model for people who had it much harder than King George VI's family. Just once the princess complained that she didn't have a normal childhood. From childhood, she inspired people to believe in the best. During the war years, her smile supported a Jewish girl hiding with her family from the Nazis in Amsterdam. The smiles of little English princesses reminded her that there is a better world. You have to be strong and believe. The girl cut out portraits from newspapers and pasted them on the walls of the attic where her family was hiding. But someone gave them to the Gestapo and the Jewish family was sent to a concentration camp. Only a month and Frank did not live to see its liberation. Margaret thought that such movies as Schindler's List only stimulate unhealthy curiosity, and the princess recommended to her butler not to spend money on this movie. Or maybe it was the blood in her that spoke. Princess Margaret of the House of Windsor, like her family, had renounced her German roots. The Kinzers had to deny, or forget that she had Saxon-Coburg-Gotti's blood in her veins. Princess Margaret went to the boring movie about Jews after reading an article by a critic who wrote about the good German Oskar Schindler, who started the war with looting and ended it as a selfless hero who saved thousands of lives. The princess was moved by this image and assumed that the whole movie would be a story about his nobility, without all those genocidal horrors. To the butler serving at breakfast the next morning, the princess said it was disgusting and vile to the point where she had to get up and leave. At the time of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's wedding, 16 years had passed since the death of Princess Margaret. By historical standards, that's not much time at all. The racism card could have been played. So why is it now clear that it didn't work out? We refuse to trust Meghan in the same way we don't trust Harry blaming his family. Trust has to be earned, a task Meghan failed to do. The role of the resentful mulatto is not working out for her. Here's what our men wrote about her. Not a woman, but a catapult, some kind of wall breaking. A tank and a bulldozer in one flacon. I can neither sympathize nor pity her, even if the British royal family were thrice racist. Does Meghan Markle look like a victim? Write a comment. Subscribe to the channel's news and support the article with a like.